Hello everybody, it's Chibi, and today I'm here to bring you... This ain't an anime review, or a manga review. And I'm not really wanting to review the game, so... I guess this will just be a story review of Dragon Ball XenoVerse. Now, here's the thing, okay? I normally don't go out of my way to review stories of games, I usually don't. And if you did not know, I love playing games on the side besides watching anime or, reading manga. Well, if you did not know, Dragon Ball XenoVerse has recently came out earlier this past week on a Tuesday. And if you all listen to what I was saying on my Twitter and what I said on Facebook, I stated I might do a story review of Dragon Ball XenoVerse, because it's a new series, like it's a new game, and it has a new story. Now you're thinking like, whoa, what? So usually if you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, you have to deal with the constant rehashed versions of Dragon Ball Z games coming out to where it's pretty much the same old thing over and over again with the exact same story over and over again. That's usually how the Dragon Ball Z games usually are. Now what was really surprising is when Dragon Ball XenoVerse was announced. It is an entirely new story to the Dragon Ball Z franchise, and it has new characters, original anime characters and stuff like that added into this game. And the story so far, from what I saw of it, like finished it completely, it's a really good game. Like the story is really good, the gameplay is really good, but I'm not really going to focus on the gameplay when it comes to this review. I just want to dive into the details of the storyline, because there's a lot of little things you can really pull out of this game's storyline and really take and just think like, oh man, this could really be some good material for future content of Dragon Ball Z or any future things when it comes to Dragon Ball Z. Now, I'm going to start off with the beginning. So the introduction of Dragon Ball XenoVerse. If you do not know the grasp of the storyline, I'm about to let you know. Dragon Ball XenoVerse takes place in like an alternate timeline, like the alternate timeline Trunks, as we know from the History of Trunks movie, or the Trunks that came from the future and the Cell Saga or Android Saga. Well, that Trunks is one of the main highlighting characters of this game. We have to pretty much help out the future Trunks in a different timeline, and he is joined the Time Patrol in this like different little dimension of where the Supreme Kais are, and this dimension's called Toki Toki City. Now, it's a really weird name. Let's just roll with that name. But you have to help out Trunks as a time patroller to correct the timeline, because you have something very mysterious happening to the timeline of Dragon Ball Z. For instance, some of these people, these two people, Toa and Mira, are going around fucking up the timeline, and they are messing up the events. Like, there's some events to where Raditz kills Goku and Piccolo, or you have one to where Frieza destroys Goku when he goes Super Saiyan and kills him, or you have another timeline to where, Goku doesn't make it in time and everybody gets slaughtered before he makes it there to Frieza. And then you also have it to where Boo is like extremely strong and he overpowers Goku in Super Saiyan 3 mode, so forth, so on. And the timeline just got really messed with, and that's the main focus of Dragon Ball XenoVerse, correcting the timeline of these two people going around messing it up. Now, the main antagonist of this game, or the storyline, is three antagonists. You have Toa and Mira, and later on, around halfway through the game, you find out about this new antagonist called Demigra. Now, Demigra is a demon god. That's what he literally calls himself in this game. Like, right at the end, he's like, I'm the demon god, Demigra, you can't touch me, just stuff like that. So, we have a new god introduced. Now, here's the thing. I don't know how canon Dragon Ball XenoVerse really is, so I'm not going to really take it at face value and say this is 100% canon to the Dragon Ball Z universe. But I will say this, I like the aspect of the direction this story took. Like, the direction towards the ending half of this game, that's when the real beef of the story started picking up and my interest really grew. Now, here's the reason why. We find out a lot of information that plays a major part into the timeline of the Battle of Gods. Yes, this game actually goes up to the Battle of Gods timeline. So, to see how we get to see Lord Beerus in this game, oh, dude, I was fucking fanboying when I got to see Lord Beerus in this game, let alone getting to see him, in a different perspective compared to the movie, because Lord Beerus actually has new lines compared to the movie. If you love the Dragon Ball Z Battle of Gods movie, you will definitely love this game for that specific segment alone, because you get to hear Lord Beerus again with some new dialogue, some new lines, and some different scenes. Like, his scenes with your character along with Demigra, That was just fucking hilarious, and I'll get into that in just a moment. Let's get back into the other details. So, getting back onto the antagonist of the series, Toa and Mira. These two right here at the end of the day, when it came to the end of this game, they weren't really defeated. And that right there is the really intriguing part about this. Because at the end, right after the credits, you see Toa arrive onto this, like, battlefield where we destroyed Mira earlier on in the game, like, the halfway point. You see how Mira's still alive, and he's, like, this little organ thing still talking, and you see how Toa looks at him and is like, oh, I'll make you again, I'll make you stronger, and we'll come back and destroy all these fools and stuff like that. So, at the end of the game, like, the last cutscene, right after the ending credits, Toa and Mira are not defeated. Mira is alive, and that means there is going to be a sequel of Dragon Ball XenoVerse. And that right there, count me shocked, because I am glad the company that made this game is planning on making a sequel, because this is a really good step forward for the Dragon Ball Z game franchise. It really is. Because this is a good step forward with a new storyline, some new stuff that can really hype up old Dragon Ball Z fans for some new content. And that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to buy this game to begin with. Because it had a new Dragon Ball Z story. A new story none of us have really seen before in anime, manga, or anything at all, even into games. And to see how this new story was focusing on like an alternate timeline and timelines being fucked with, it was just a really awesome way to look at Dragon Ball Z. And to find out that we're probably going to have a sequel of this story, oh, I'm happy. Now, here's the thing, okay? One thing I do want to point out is Toa's relationship to the overall series. That right there, when he found out around the Boo saga of the game, that right there shocked me. We find out that Toa is the sister of Deborah. Yeah, I'm not fucking joking. Toa is the sister of Deborah, the Demon King. So, when I found that out at the middle half of this game, I was like, yo, Deborah's getting expanded upon, like his history and backstory and stuff is getting expanded upon. We find out about Toa is the supposed sister of Deborah. Oh my god, like, we get this introduced to when we fight Fat Boo, pretty much. That's when we first get introduced to Deborah's sister, like, you know, we find out about that little piece of information, and Trunks says, like, since Toa is the sister of Deborah, it's really obvious she would want to exact revenge against Majin Buu, since he killed her brother. So, whoa, just to see that, I was just shocked to see how Deborah's backstory was kind of dived into. Well, Deborah wasn't specifically dived into, it was actually Toa, but to find out some more characterization around Deborah that he had a sister, it's just really intriguing. I did not expect something like that, and a little twist in this game at all. I didn't expect that in this storyline, let alone how at the end they survive and there's possibly going to be a sequel. Now, moving past that, the other aspects of this I really want to talk about is the way the story progresses towards the end. Like, at the end, we find out some really interesting details about Goku. As we know, since this game does take place in the Battle of Gods, that means Goku became the Super Saiyan God. And the events of, like, this game takes, like, right in the middle of the Battle of the Gods and slightly right after. That's where the ending part of this game takes place. And you see how Goku helps you out to take down the demon god Demigra. He actually helps you out to take him down. And Demigra cannot control Goku. And that's one thing that really stood out to me when it came to this game. So Demigra, as a demon god, he can control people, manipulate people, and he can, you know, change time and rupture time, pretty much stuff like that. And he can control people. Even the purest of heart, like he controlled Gohan, one of the purest of hearts, you know, Z warriors in the entire series, into, like, his puppet. And for some reason, he couldn't manipulate Goku until towards the end of the fight, like right before the final battle, we find out the reason why Demigra cannot manipulate Goku is because Goku was once a god. So, with this aspect being fleshed upon and just fleshed out, we find out that Goku cannot possibly be controlled by other gods. And this really explains it a lot, because the actual game, this game specifically, foreshadows Goku being able to resist Demigra's, you know, mind manipulation to where he can control Goku. Let me explain. Lord Beerus, in his timeline, his respective timeline, when we were trying to fix the stuff that was going on, you have to where Demigra tries to control Lord Beerus. He tries to get in his mind to control Lord Beerus, which, let's just be real here, that didn't work out at all. Demigra got fucked. That's the quick explanation to that, because Demigra came in trying to manipulate time, tried to manipulate Lord Beerus in Goku's fight, and he's trying to make it to where Lord Beerus was stronger and, you know, he would become the puppet of Demigra. Well, Lord Beerus, he fakes getting controlled. Like, at first you see Demigra's power go over Beerus, and it looks like Beerus is controlled, and all of a sudden, Lord Beerus just breaks it off, and he's like, oh, I know you're there, and he just shoots Demigra, dude. Freaking Lord Beerus trolled Demigra. He's like, I knew you're there, you think you could troll me? The god of destruction? This is an insult. This is heresy. It's just stuff like that. Just what Lord Beerus said, his lines right there was just freaking funny as crap, because he can't be controlled. And Demigra wasn't aware of this, which was very shocking. So that little element right there foreshadowed Goku not being able to be controlled by another god. So I like that. I like that little piece of writing when it came to this storyline. But the main point of it is Goku can resist gods' mind control. That's interesting. I wonder if that's going to stay in place with, like, future movies, possibly, of Dragon Ball Z. I wonder if, you know, Akira Toriyama might keep that. I wonder how canon this game really is, though. That's the one thing I really want to know. Like, I wonder at the end of the day how canon this game is, because it's a new spin on the Dragon Ball Z series, and you could really take it as if it's actually canon from the way it was, you know, perceived to us players of the game. Like, when you were watching this, you know, storyline unfold to you, you could really take it as if it was canon, because I don't see any contradictions. Like, there's not really any contradictions when it comes to the main canon of Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball. There's no contradictions at all. So you could really insert this into the Dragon Ball Z series, and you could still say this is canon. So, yeah. Overall, though, the game was really, really, really fun. I had a lot of fun playing it. The gameplay is a lot better than a lot of the Dragon Ball Z games. Like, I love the Dragon Ball Z games, I love the fighting of it, but they got very repetitive over time because it was the same thing over and over. And with Dragon Ball Z XenoVerse, it is a lot more fresh. Like, I don't know, the action is a lot more action-packed compared to the previous games of Dragon Ball Z. And I'm glad that the company that made this game decided to take it a step up a notch and really improve this series for the better. The only issues I encountered while playing this game and with the storyline in general was the voice, the audio. That's the only thing I had a problem with when it came to this game. Like, the lip syncing of the characters, oh god, that's a major fucking issue to this game. Like, straight up, that is the only issue I truly encountered in this game. The lip syncing of the characters when in English, I didn't check out the Japanese audio, so I don't know how the Japanese audio is, but I played this game in dub. The dub, the voice acting in some parts is very questionable. Like, it is really bad in some parts of this game. And it's not just that either. All the voice actors from Dragon Ball Kai are in this. Like, if you like Dragon Ball Z Kai's voice actors, you're gonna love this, because all the Kai voices are in this game. All the voices are, all the voice actors. So if you like those voice actors, you're going to be completely happy. But it's not just that, though. Some of the audio clips in this just feel very rough, forced, and it doesn't have that oomph that usually the voice actors usually have when it comes to Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Kai. And on top of this, too, when it came to the lip syncing with the actual animation of the game, you will see how the lips will keep moving after the dialogue has stopped. And that was one of the most reoccurring issues with this game. And there was even some scenes in the game to when the lips did not even move when they were talking. Yeah. So, that's it. That's one of the only issues I could say I truly had with the game. Overall, very, very, very fun. If you could look past the audio issues when it came to the voices and stuff, you will love this game. 100% you will fucking love this game because the story's good. I mean, if you're a die-hard Dragon Ball Z fan, you're going to love this game. That's what I'm going to say. So, yeah. Tell me your thoughts. Do you want to see more future story reviews of other games in the future? I mean, depending on the game, like, you know, if I have a craving for a game and I want to rush through the story, just play the story. Do you all want to see future game story reviews? Because, I mean, hey, I love my Dragon Ball Z, and if there's ever, you know, a XenoVerse 2, oh yes, I will definitely review Game 2. So yeah, you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.